Many people wonder what it's like to be incredibly rich. Why is it important to watch this video? The fact is that there are no people who would not want to become rich, who would not want to earn money. Well, numerous, including conceivably you, desire to earn substantial money, but you lack any knowledge of what lies ahead for you. Let's talk about it today. All people think that being rich is very good, but of course, because all people only see the external side, cars, houses, yachts, planes, and therefore think that being rich is good. Today I will share with you stories about what it is really like to be a wealthy person. And I will share with you my story, my experience, and the price at which wealth is obtained comes into play. And you yourself make the decision whether to go down this path or not. The number one problem is that as a person's prosperity grows, life begins to lose its colors. The thing is, rich people experience life differently. Modern science has proven that. All our sensations, physical and emotional, are directly related to hormones. In general, hormones are translated from Greek as excite and make act, according to their etymology. These are substances that are released into our bloodstream and thanks to which we feel a surge of energy, enthusiasm, motivation, inspiration, and other similar feelings. So there are three main hormones. They are also called hormones of joy or hormones of happiness. The first hormone is serotonin, endorphin, and dopamine. They are three hormones similar but responsible for different functions and different sensations, and for various emotions. Thus, the issue arises when your wealth begins to grow, as this results in an escalation of the number of positive events that you start to experience in your life. And here is the catch. The greater number of bright events you encounter in life, the lower your sensitivity becomes to the hormones of joy. And the problem is that, for instance, when a wealthy person buys another Mercedes or Rolls-Royce, he does not experience as much joy as a poor or ordinary person who bought their first Lada Priora car. Remember, for example, your first purchase. Surely she made a huge impression on you and caused a storm of emotions. By the way, share in the comments about your first purchase and what you felt at that moment. For instance, I recall when in the year 91 I recently got married. It was November, and my older sibling presented me with a Lada Zhiguli 007, not 007, but a 7. We referred to it as that, and it had a burgundy color. It brought me so much happiness, such intense emotions. I got married on November 8th, and my sibling gave me this car, so I spent the night inside it. It was an unforgettable experience, a cherished memory that I will always hold dear in my heart. Newlyweds. I remained in it due to the fact that I did not have a garage. This automobile was very costly for me. But at the same time, I only had this car until New Year's. She was smashed to pieces. And in a separate video, I will explain why you can't love things too much. The second big problem is that rich people have a decreased sensitivity to hormones. And this is the second significant problem because, you see, he produces a reduced amount of hormones and his hormonal system also becomes less sensitive and responsive to hormones. Therefore, wealthy individuals do not experience the happiness that comes from acquiring possessions and the lifestyle they lead. What conclusion can be derived from this? Despite the ability of wealthy individuals to afford more, it actually does not bring them greater pleasure. If we consider Merrill's perspective, wealth may not necessarily. The pleasure that an individual derives from obtaining something or a lifestyle, one can observe a clear correlation that the greater the wealth a person possesses, the more costly pleasure becomes for them, and the more expensive the sensation of happiness and joy is for them, which is available to an ordinary person. The price of pleasure and perceived joy increases directly proportional to the growth of your well-being. If you desire to obtain additional joy and increased pleasure, you will need to allocate a significantly larger amount of money. And this is the primary issue of wealthy individuals for which no one has discovered a remedy as of yet. In reality, all marketing is founded on two primary instruments. The initial tool is temptation, the second tool is fear. If you desire individuals to have a desire to purchase something from you, make sure to display a vivid, beautiful picture, which all marketers perform. If they display the reverse side, it becomes evident that nobody wants to achieve this and nobody will desire to purchase it. Therefore, this is a common marketing ploy, but people fall for it precisely because of the bright, beautiful picture, because I'm sure not everyone is interested in showing the other side. Perhaps numerous individuals may lack interest in examining the reverse side, as when considering wealth as a complete entity, we truly observe a positive depiction, the ultimate outcome, but we fail to witness the everyday labor, effort, focus, and the accountability that accompanies every affluent individual. And that's why people are shown what they want to see. The main problem is not what is actually happening. Can you teach yourself to want to see the truth? It is not about teaching yourself to want to see the truth, but about your inner beliefs and questioning them. If you have the right beliefs in your mind, you can always recognize and see the real picture and situation behind the beautiful external picture. You will always witness hard work behind a bright and beautiful picture. Observe individuals with the correct beliefs and comprehension. The bright picture does not have an impact on them. They are not enticed because they comprehend what is behind it. Moreover, the brighter and more beautiful the picture, the more effort it takes behind this picture. And these are people who have the right beliefs they understand right away. By the way, about the beliefs of rich people, especially super rich people, I will make a separate video, so subscribe and follow my releases. The second problem that prevents wealthy people from enjoying their wealth. It is a heavy responsibility that they are aware of, and some may not even realize probably. More precisely, they subconsciously still realize it, and it weighs on them. All people want money. And why do they desire them? Because in the minds of all individuals, money is connected with the concept of freedom. Any freedom, that is what freedom is. Freedom, and what is the rationale behind the necessity for it? Freedom gives us a space of possibilities, and that's why she values us. And the space of possibilities is always uncertainty, it is always risks. There is a rule, the more risks, the more problems. And if the risks are high, then the problems are big, and problems always lead to responsibility. And it is precisely this that our subconscious mind understands and realizes. In this way, you may not even feel it with your own brain, but your subconscious does. And when many of you want to make money, your subconscious mind asks, why do we need it? Why do we require extra responsibility? And this is the primary reason why a lot of you do not accomplish your goals, because you lack agreement between your brain and rationality and your subconscious mind. They, similar to a swan, crab, and pike, tug in various directions. I recall myself when I was an extremely wealthy individual, despite the fact that I possessed yachts, planes, helicopters, and so forth, yet I consistently felt that I could consistently be summoned to the administration of presidents, to the government. Every single day I was filled with fear that something unexpected would occur at my businesses, such as an accident, an emergency, and so forth. Thus, this responsibility consistently poisoned and undermined the pleasures that I derived from my esteemed and privileged status in society. Psychological points of view on wealth: it is a feeling of complete economic security. When individuals possess wealth, they often claim in society that such a person is all-powerful, capable of doing anything, and able to afford everything. However, in reality, not everyone understands the true depth of this phrase. When people talk about omnipotence, they mean that this person can afford anything because they have a lot of money. And I perceive this phrase in a slightly different way. When a wealthy person is all-powerful, it means they have numerous opportunities and few responsibilities. And this is a big and key difference. The point is that wealth itself, in everyday understanding, is measured by the amount of money or assets and so on. However, in reality, when considering our internal emotions, I am able to state, based on my personal encounter, that genuine prosperity or a feeling of prosperity arises from the disparity between your capabilities and your obligations. Not the amount of money. If you have approximately $10 billion and you have responsibilities for $10 billion, then you will not feel like a rich person. You will feel more responsibility than pleasure. And if you have assets worth $100 million and at the same time liabilities worth 10, believe me, you will feel much richer, much brighter. You will feel it and rejoice. Hence the following conclusion arises, that if wealth is not connected in any way with the amount of money, then every person can feel rich. And it's true. Work on expanding your capabilities. After all, people say for a reason, don't have 100 rubles, have 100 friends. What does this mean? It's not about money, it's about opportunities. When you have 100 friends, you have more opportunities. And this gives you a feeling of wealth. So develop your abilities. Each person can become wealthy. Not all can accumulate a large amount of money and assets, but each can feel rich and experience a sense of abundance. And enhance your capabilities and consistently work towards reducing your level of responsibility.
I am not calling.
You are present for your lack of responsibility. I strongly advise you to avoid being held responsible. Hence, fulfill your responsibilities punctually and diligently, refrain from borrowing, arrive promptly for meetings, avoid getting involved in circumstances that may result in accusations of negligence or carelessness, and so forth. This leads to responsibility. People intuitively understand the difference between money and true wealth. Firstly, genuine wealth is experienced through a sense of ease. You most likely have come across your initial income in your lifetime. Recall the time when you earned money through diligent effort and how it was bestowed upon you. And keep in mind, without a doubt you have had instances when you successfully managed to earn some money with ease. If you had such a feeling, and we will continue further. Therefore, if you fulfill all your obligations carefully, think before promising something to someone. And if you promise to fulfill, there is a whole complex of actions that need to be done in order to constantly reduce your responsibility. Trust me, even with a total of $100,000 in assets, you will experience the sensation of being a wealthy individual. And this is related, I emphasize, to your capabilities and your responsibility, specifically to the distinction or contrast between your capabilities and your responsibility.